Hi everyone, this is Warren. Welcome to Dynasty Decoded. Last time, we talked about how Emperor Yao became the ruler of all under heaven. But not long after he took the throne, something weird started happening in the east. Out of nowhere, these violent winds kept blowing through, tearing apart people's homes and causing tons of casualties. So the question was this some kind of natural disaster, or something more sinister? Emperor Yao turned to Wu Jinzi and asked, "Do you know what's going on with those strange winds in the east?" Wu Jinzi nodded and said, "That wind is caused by a fierce bird called De Feng. And that bird is actually the wind god Feng Bo who lost the Battle of Zhuelu. Since he can't return to the heavens, he's been causing chaos down here in the human world." Emperor Yao frowned. "A god from heaven, can we even deal with that?" Wu Jinzi replied calmly, "Don't worry, I've already prepared for this." He then pulled out a command flag and handed it to Yi. "General Yi, I'm afraid we'll need you to take care of this. As long as you carry this flag, his winds won't affect you. That'll give you a chance to capture him." Yi thought for a moment and asked, "But Feng Bo is still a god. What if he turns invisible while I'm chasing him? How am I supposed to track him down?" Wu Jinzi smiled. "I've got that covered too." He held up a glowing object. "This is called the Mystic Pearl. Shine it into the sky, and no matter if it's a demon or a god, they'll be forced to reveal themselves. No more hiding." Then he added, "Oh, and one more very important thing. When you go after De Feng, you must bring your red bow and white silk arrows. Remember the ones Emperor Ku gave you?" Yi nodded. "Of course. He told me they were powerful divine weapons, so I've kept them safe all this time." "Exactly," Wu Jinzi said. "They're specifically made to deal with bird-like creatures. With those, capturing De Feng should be no problem." So, Yi once again led his army east to hunt down De Feng. At first, he was worried the creature might hide from them. Turns out, he was overthinking it. De Feng didn't take them seriously at all. I mean, he's a god, why would he be afraid of a bunch of mortals? Sure enough, when Yi and his troops reached Qingkai in the east, they quickly ran into him. The moment De Feng saw them, he knew they weren't there for friendly reasons. So without hesitation, he unleashed a massive storm, blasting them with powerful winds. But no matter how hard he tried, something felt off. "Wait, why isn't this guy moving at all?" That's when De Feng realized, "Uh-oh, they've got help from someone powerful. This is bad, I need to get out of here." He immediately turned invisible and tried to escape. But yeah, it's not that easy to run. Yi had already seen this coming. He instantly pulled out the Mystic Pearl and shined it into the sky. Boom! De Feng was exposed. Seeing he couldn't hide anymore, De Feng transformed into a giant bird and tried to fly away. Yi raised his red bow, aimed carefully, and fired. Now, he wasn't trying to kill him, just capture him. So he aimed for the leg, not a vital spot. But what happened next totally caught him off guard. The moment the arrow hit, De Feng dropped out of the sky like a kite with its string cut straight down and died on the spot. Yi was stunned. Wait, isn't he a god? How did he just die like that? What Yi didn't know was that the red bow and white silk arrows had a hidden power. Anyone struck by them, whether god or demon, would instantly lose all their magic. So the moment De Feng got hit, he became just like a normal being. And falling from that height, yeah, there was no surviving that. With the Eastern crisis resolved, you'd think peace had finally returned, right? Nope. Because something even worse was about to happen. A full-on, world-ending disaster. Here's what went down. In the east, there were these three-legged birds called the golden crows. They were creatures made of intense, blazing heat. Yeah, their other name, the sun. There were 10 of them, and their mother had always warned them, only one of you goes out at a time. And you come back at night. But one day, while their mother was away, the brothers got bored. Hey, why don't we all go out together for once? And just like that, all 10 flew into the sky. Suddenly, there were 10 suns shining down on the earth. Rivers dried up instantly, houses caught fire, people were scorched to death by the unbearable heat. The soldiers, panicking, rushed to report to Emperor Yao. What, 10 suns in the sky at the same time? Shocked and desperate, Emperor Yao turned to Wu Chenzi again. What is going on? But this time, Wu Chenzi shook his head. I don't know. The Golden Crows have never behaved like this before. Emperor Yao's heart sank. Even you don't know, then what are we supposed to do now? The ministers started arguing, throwing out ideas, but none of them had a real solution. At that moment, Yi stepped forward. Enough talking. If we keep this up, the whole country will be destroyed. He looked at Emperor Yao and said, do you remember I have the red bow and white silk arrows? Wu Chenzi said they're meant for dealing with bird creatures. If you allow me, I'll go out there and shoot those golden crows down. Hearing this, Feng Meng couldn't help but jump in. Master, you've gotta be kidding me. Those are the sun. Before, you said you could shoot down the stars. I already thought that was a stretch. And now you're saying you're going to shoot down the sun? Come on. Since the situation was urgent, Yi didn't bother arguing with Feng Meng. He just turned and looked at Emperor Yao. The moment he saw Yao nod, he took off immediately to deal with the 10 sons. By the time he arrived, completely out of breath, he didn't hesitate. He drew his bow and fired straight at the sons. But, to everyone's surprise, he missed. Yet, after rushing all the way there, his mind was unsettled, and those blazing suns were almost blinding. That first shot totally off. Feng Meng, standing nearby, couldn't help but sneer, Master, just give it up. I told you no one can shoot down the sun. Yi ignored him. He didn't have time for that. He knew every second counted. So he lifted his head again, carefully locking onto the positions of all 10 suns. Then he lowered his head, slowed his breathing, and steadied himself. Yi understood something very clearly: in this kind of heat, he wouldn't last long, and if even one of those golden crows escaped, they could come back and wreak havoc again in the future. So this time, he went all in. He pulled out 9 arrows at once. Then he raised his head again, and with everything he had, whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. In a single burst, he unleashed his legendary 9-arrow rapid fire. And then, something incredible happened. All 9 arrows struck their targets. 9 golden crows hit at the same time. One by one, the suns fell from the sky. They looked like massive burning fireballs, or like fireworks that had finished exploding, fading into ash across the heavens. Yi drew his bow again, ready to take down the last remaining sun, which was already trying to escape. But just then Emperor Yao stopped him. General Yi, don't. The sun, after all, is essential for human life. Without it, people wouldn't be able to survive. Yi paused, and realized that made sense. So he lowered his bow. Only then did everyone snap out of their shock. Wait, did that really just happen? Yi just shot down the suns. The crowd erupted. Whoa, Yi is incredible. He's a hero. A true legend. You'd think solving the Golden Crow crisis would be a moment of pure celebration. But of course, there are always people who just have to talk. Instead of thanking Yi, some of them turned to Feng Meng and mocked him. Oh, I thought your archery skills were on the same level as your master's. But after today, it's pretty clear your master is on a whole different level. Even the suns you said couldn't be shot down, he took them out easily. Looks like you've got a lot more training to do. Hearing that, Feng Meng's face turned red with anger and humiliation. He stormed off on the spot. Seeing this, Emperor Yao quickly stepped in and told everyone to stop talking. Then he walked up to Yi and said, Hero, on behalf of everyone, thank you. You saved us. Then he leaned in closer and lowered his voice. Did you see Feng Meng's expression just now? Yi nodded. Yeah. He's not happy. Emperor Yao sighed. This isn't the first time I've seen that look on his face. I think Feng Meng has a very strong sense of pride. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but when that pride turns into constant comparison with others, it can easily become jealousy. Think about it: every time you completed a mission before, he never came to congratulate you. And today, he left in anger. I'm worried he might go down the wrong path. You need to be careful around him from now on. Yi let out a sigh. Yeah, I already figured as much. He understood the situation. But understanding it, didn't make it any easier to deal with. Feng Meng was his most capable assistant. Yi had even planned to pass his position on to him one day. But now everything felt uncertain. If Feng Meng's personality was really like this, was it actually right to let him take over as general? The more Yi thought about it, the more conflicted he became. And then suddenly he collapsed. Everyone panicked. Yi had always been strong and healthy, this had never happened before. Luckily, Emperor Yao reacted fast. He rushed over, caught him, and immediately called for a physician. After a thorough examination, the doctor finally said, "It's nothing serious. He just exhausted himself shooting down the suns combined with the extreme heat and dehydration. He'll be fine." Only after hearing that, did Emperor Yao finally breathe a sigh of relief. But wait, something might feel a little off here. Wasn't the one who shot down the sun supposed to be Hou Yi? So why is it Yi here? Are they the same person? Actually no. The one who truly shot down the suns was this Yi, from Emperor Yao's time. He's often called De Yi, meaning Great Yi. He's not the same person as Hou Yi from the Xia dynasty. That Hou Yi, yeah, he was actually a villain. But this Yi a true hero. Honestly, if he ever found out that future generations mixed him up with Hou Yi, that might actually be what makes him pass out. What Yi didn't realize was with Feng Meng's departure, his own fate was about to take a turn. How would this story unfold? We'll have to wait until next time to find out. Thanks for coming to my show. I hope you enjoyed today's story. See you next time.